All right, folks, step 10 for church security. Excuse the change of venue and difference in camera. Step 10 ended up getting tragically deleted, but I'm going to hit it for you fresh. It's a labor of love at this point. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying this. By the way, while I've got you here on a bit of an administrative note, I tell you to, hey, check out my YouTube channel. We got all kinds of cool content. If you resonate with kind of a warrior poet ethos and you feel like, hey, I relate with this dude and his message, I'd ask you to check out our website as well. Rep our apparel and help spread our message. So we're out doing that stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to step 10. This has to deal with sexual predators. Now, some sex offenders have just, hey, it was a bad decision. It was a bad break, and they should probably be welcomed with open arms into the church at large. Certainly not into like little kids areas and stuff. There's a difference between forgiveness and welcoming and trust, and kind of any type of sexual crime violated against a kid. It should be a one strike, you're out, in my opinion. But regardless, there you go. There's other sexual predators. They're really out there still hunting. And the difficulty, and I already alluded to this in an earlier video, is they're incredibly difficult to spot. People feel like, yeah, I'd be able to tell something around the eyes. You can tell. You can't tell. You can't tell. I've read too many reports of this. In fact, I'd really ask you guys to get educated yourselves. Check out some books. I'll allude to one here as we start going through a little bit more of the sexual predator stuff material that I have for you. They're very hard to catch. They're very hard to spot. So let's have discernment and make sure we make wise policies that'll save our butts even when our discernment fails. First and foremost, you should be checking your member records and also any of those little guest cards that a lot of churches pass out. If you get a name on those, check it with the sex offender registry in your area. And I'd even include that search to be an hour drive from wherever your location is. A step 2 would be, hey, go ahead and look at the local area around your church, behind the church, anything that's kind of like a 10-minute walk for me, a 5-minute drive. Where are the sexual offenders located near you? And it matters a lot what the sexual offense was. I mean, what if it was, hey, back in 1975, this 17-year-old guy this 18-year-old guy slept with a 17-year-old girlfriend. I think you should probably treat those cases different than somebody who got arrested on multiple counts of child molestation. There's a difference there in sexual predators, and you guys should probably look into that as well, but know who's around your local area. Number 3 is let's make sure we educate our staff on sexual predators. A lot of people who are especially prone to sweet ministries within the church come with a certain naivety, a certain trust of people, and so I think we should be innocent as doves, but as wise as certain serpents, especially when the stakes are so high. Dealing with little kids, some sexual predator comes along and kind of ruins them for life. There's scars that they can get counseling for, but they'll remain scars, right? And so let's make sure we educate our staff. I'd really look to books. Somebody spear point this on your church security team. Be the person who really is in the mind of the sexual predator. You can do that here. Here's a book I recently read. It's called Predators, and really it was just very alarming as it went through all these different case studies and even interviewed pedophiles, so that you can look at that. It's not just pedophilia, though. It's just really running rampant. All kinds of rape, sexual assault will be happening. Generally, and this will bring me to number 4, make wise policies that provide accountability. If you look at just general statistics, it's men that are doing almost all of the sexual predatory activities. Almost all, not all. You can, every once in a while on the sex offender registry, you can spot the gals as well, but typically young men or grown men are the ones committing the offenses. So as you're building leadership and looking for volunteers, particularly in the children's area, but anytime, guys are going to be alone with little kids or girls, that should raise just a flag of caution, regardless of how sweet you think that man is and how sweet that boy is. It's almost always that sweet man, that sweet boy, and then all of a sudden everyone's just shocked when it comes out. So regardless of how sweet they are, go ahead and make a policy based on statistics. And And that may be as, hey, in the kids area, a dude who's serving in a some type of servant role or leadership role, hey, you shouldn't be alone with little kids or with members of the opposite sex. You just shouldn't be alone. So there's always some type of accountability. This can extend to, hey, when little kids have to go to the bathroom, it's just a good idea. Protecting yourself from liability as well. What happens if some little girl just says something goofy to a parent and they get it in their mind that this person did something wrong, even though that never happened? It's just the kid's word against your word. And so having some good accountability can be a really, really good thing. And especially some churches, because of just the staggering statistics regarding it's usually men committing all these sexual crimes, it's just easier to say, all right, well, women will work with our little kids. And that'd be a judgment call that you had to make. I'd hate to deprive a guy who is really called to that sacred ministry. All of a sudden, they can't do that because of your policy. So I'd hate to ruin it because of the bad apple spoils the whole bunch. But regardless, let's be wise as serpents and innocent as doves as we go about making policies with wisdom. Another thing is overnight retreats, church camps. Anytime the parents are shuttling or people are shuttling kids around, let's just try to make sure that we're never alone with any kids. There's always some type of other adult leader present so that you have good accountability. Nothing can possibly happen, and that could be a really good thing. Guys, be really, really careful. This is a sticky one. It's an uncomfortable one. This is very uncomfortable for me to make. So if I've misspoken any word, go ahead and give me the benefit of the doubt. I'm just trying to keep your church clear from all the liability kind of stuff, the scandals that could result, and also a bunch of women, innocent women and kids that could be victimized because of sexual predation. So, guys, I'll leave you with this for step 10, and we'll move on to step 11. Here we go.